My boyfriend has hit me and now I'm lost. My boyfriend, 19M, and I, 17F, have been going out for just over a year and a half. I don't feel comfortable going into super detail, but I need some sort of guidance cause I have no one I can talk to. Anyways, things were great in the beginning of the relationship. Of course we've each had our own rough lives and are messed up in our own ways, but I think I'm done using that as an excuse to justify his actions. We never really fought in the beginning, but once we did start arguing it slowly began to turn more aggressive, on his part. He began yelling more, shutting me out, and would seem like he's going to no go for it. However, when we're not fighting our relationship is amazing. He's the first man I fell in love with, but I'm scared what has happened has affected that. When the fights started to get bad he just began by pushing into walls on the floor etc. Then the fighting got to the point of him hitting me in like the chest and head until he choked me. It escalated to the point of him during our last argument that he put a knife up to me. I just recently discovered that some domestic abusers have only hit their significant other once or twice and been charged for it. So I DK what I should do. This man is my everything. I can tell our bond is not as strong now and I'm scared he's realizing it's cause of subconsciously locked up a little. I DK how to describe it. But I don't want to just leave him. We have all the same friends, we play D&D together every weekend at his place, which 20 feet away from mine. We go to work together, tend to have the same schedules too. We haven't fought in a while, maybe 2 months, and he repeatedly tells me how much he finally is happy cause of me. How would I live with myself? TLRBF, 19M, has hit me during arguments a few times and now, 17F, don't know what to do. Dude, my god, fucking leave. Gonna get killed. You need to leave him before he kills you. Leave now. He is in a recognizable and common pattern of escalation. It will only get worse. You are living in a cycle of abuse. It's not going to get better. You need to get out ASAP. Get away. File a police report. Get a restraining order. Go to therapy. If you stay it will only get worse. Honey, I'm so sorry you have lived this and you still are into this situation. I'm sure I'm not gonna be the only one that's going to tell you this, but this isn't love. This sounds like a codependency case and it's also putting your life in danger even if you don't think it that way. He has increased his level of violence and trust me, it only can get worse with time. You don't want to be another girl on the news. The sooner you realize you're more than capable to live your life without him the better. You're still significant other, young and able to heal, and in the future to find someone that's healthy enough to respect you and never put a finger on you or even raise his voice when he's mad. Please step away from him. He's going to kill you. You need to leave him. You, Ebby45 is a domestic violence resource consoler on Reddit. They have lots of information on abusive partners. Please understand that you are in a very, very dangerous place. He has already escalated, and it will get worse. He held a knife to your neck. What more do you need? Please call a domestic abuse hotline and get help. They are there for you. Guilt during pregnancy. I, 36 female, feel guilty after getting pregnant as it affects my partner, 32M. The pregnancy was unplanned and unexpected and both of us were not prepared for it. He is really financially stressed, used to work 5 days but now works 6 days and is burdened from my debt and expenses. He does not get enough sleep, stares at the roof while on bed for hours, will get up early in the morning after I disturb him with my morning sickness. I have always been bad with finances. I lived on paycheck to paycheck and saved close to none, whereas he has saved 50% of his income whole life. He had to learn cooking from scratch and tries his best to make it perfect. I do insist on making food and cleaning the home, but he denied and hired a cleaner, another expense. Pays off my Mercedes's monthly payments. That makes me guilty while he can afford a Ferrari but drives a Camry because he wanted to save for future and won't let me sell it. We are the first in his friend group to get pregnant and it sucks that he is unable to go out with them, and he is in really sad mood as his friends will be going on a trip they all planned 6 months ago, before I was pregnant. They can't cancel it as it is non-refundable. And then comes the worst part. I throw fits at him for small things like last night salt was more in the food so I yelled at him. I yell at him for wearing perfumes that make me puke. Which is ironic because they were my favorite pre-pregnancy. He gets close to none me time and also has to take care of our dog, which is pretty big, Saint Bernard, and needs to be socialized and worked out with daily. He is a pleaser and will not complain to me about any of this stuff. How can I help him with this? I'm sorry, why is he the one who needs help? You're taking advantage because he won't say no to you. Sell your car, tell him no cleaner, Get therapy for your overspending and how you fly off the handle at him. Sell your Mercedes. Cut him some slack. Especially if you admit you've been difficult and hard to please. Even after saying that it's still, something's wrong's him help me fix it, like girl, relax. Man is stressed out trying to figure out how's he's gonna provide for 3 people and one that always nitpicks. I get you're pregnant but cut the guy some slack. You aren't the only one here. Sell some stuff, get some sort of side hustle IDK. Why the hell are you having a baby? Be honest. Tell him that inside your head you were freaking out, that you don't want to add to his problems. That both of you are where you are now because of past decisions. You can take this all on yourself. So many do. But it's not all resting on you, and you know that. I know everyone is giving advice to sell stuff to help, but from your responses it sounds like his internal reaction will be, I'm working so damn hard, but clearly it's not enough. So my advice would be to work on making sure he feels like you appreciate all he is doing. Take some time to plan a date for him, cook him his favorite meal, just say thank you. Apologize for blowing up at him and explain it's pregnancy rather than you actually being pissed about the perfume. He sounds like the sort of guy that will appreciate your honest appreciation more than financial help. You just have to remember all this and don't make him regret what he did to you. As a bit of a people pleaser myself, I can understand your partner. Get therapy for the both of you. From what it sounds like, you both need to open up to each other better and work out the problems you currently have before they get worse. Sell your car if it's too expensive and replace it with a more family-friendly, affordable car. My mum thinks I should wear a bra whenever I'm in public, but I'm an adult and don't want to. So every year my mum and I go on vacation to visit my grandma and the rest of her family. They live in a different state. We always go during June, so it's hot as balls. Just for context, I'm AFAB and genderfluid. I absolutely hate wearing bras, they're extremely uncomfortable for me. I also tend to wear tank tops, cause it's 92 degrees out. But if we're about to go out, my mum will look at my chest and go, I can see your boobs, like yeah, because I have them. She told me to put a bra on so we could go grocery shopping. I told her I didn't even bring any. The only undergarment I brought was my binder. She told me to wear that. I felt wanted to argue with her but didn't because my aunt and grandma were in the room. After about an hour, I took my binder off because I wore it the day before and needed a break. When we went out to dinner with my uncle, cousin, and his fiancée, my mum angrily whispered to me, "You took your binder off, didn't you?" I told her yes, I'm not supposed to wear it all day and my breasts needed a break. Right before I'm getting ready to drive back home, she's like, I'm sorry I embarrassed you. It's just that your boobs move a lot when you don't wear a bra. We were sitting down at a table the whole time and if my male relatives were looking at my breasts, they weren't, that's on them. I don't know how to convey to my mum that I hate changing myself for her and that it's not my responsibility to keep men from sexualizing me. I love her, but this is something that comes up pretty frequently. How can I convey to her that I do not want to change myself for her? Edit. I am an independent adult who lives on my own, not with my mother. If you're an adult and you accept the consequences of your actions, then who cares what you do? You understand that other people can see your chest and you still want to make that decision, and that's fine. It's not like you're being naked in front of kids. This can't be a big enough issue for her that she can't overcome it for the sake of her own child. You tell her what you said here. It's not your responsibility to wear something uncomfortable because other people can't control themselves. And if she can't understand that, then you have to accept you won't change her mind. But you still get to do whatever you want with your own body. Quit staring at my tits, Mom. Or, Mom, no one has expressed a problem with this but you. That makes it your problem, not mine, and I'm not discussing it anymore. Or, Mom, I love you, but I'm not a little kid and you don't get to pick out my underwear for me anymore. Or simply, drop it, Mom. The point is that she doesn't actually get to weigh in on this, and that while ideally she needs to figure out why she's so fixated on it without dragging you into those issues, you don't really care as long as she leaves you alone about it. Nope, fuck them, pardon my language, but I mean business. Lol. I am 50, and I unapologetically go braless 95% of the time. I may wear one at a job interview. Lol. Your body, your rules. Whether gender fluid, trans, or cis female like myself, you do you. For what it's worth, I am 50 and have DDD breasts with large, obvious nipples. It was really hard at first, 7 years ago, to go braless and be secure in that choice. However, time is the teacher here. As you get older, you care less and less about what anyone else thinks, which allows for a more authentic you. Embrace that, whatever it means for you. No is a full sentence. Your job in life is not to make your mother comfortable. Your job is to be you, whatever that entails. If your mom is uncomfortable because you aren't wearing a bra, that's her problem. You're an adult. What you wear is entirely up to you. If your male relatives are staring at your breasts, well, that's very much their problem to solve, not yours. If they can't manage to have dinner without staring at a female relative's breasts, then that's a problem they probably need to address themselves rather than victim blaming. I would ask your mom, why is she sexualizing your breasts so much? It is sexually inappropriate after a certain age to try to dictate another person's appearance. Point out to her that really she is the only one looking at your breasts. No, don't give in. I would just nicely ask her to please stop mentioning it because it's not going to change and it makes you uncomfortable. Boyfriend, 28M, wants me, 25F, to pay for half of bed bug treatment when he brought them in. So I moved into a new apartment with my boyfriend, who was coming from his old apartment and I was coming from my parents' house. His old apartment was infested with bedbugs and his roommate, who is just really dumb, refused to pay for half of the treatment. My boyfriend got advice from a Terminix guy that since he is moving out soon, he could possibly just spray everything with alcohol. That kills the bugs, put his clothes in the dryer, kills them too, before he brings everything to the new place. Although he did that, if it were me I'd just toss everything and start anew. All of his furniture was old anyways, but I guess that's besides the point. The point is, he brought bedbugs into our new apartment despite his efforts of trying to eliminate them from all his things before moving here. I'm not saying it's his fault, but that's what happened. We had an expert come in when we first moved in and he said to call him back when we actually find a bug, since we may not have them. Lo and behold, last night I found 3 bedbugs on our couch and 1 on the carpet. I just felt, and feel, devastated and mentally depleted because of this. Anyways, my boyfriend's point of view is that we should share the cost of the treatment. It's going to be expensive, because we both live here. I personally think that's totally unfair. This was his and his roommate's problem in the first place, and just because I did move in with him doesn't make it my responsibility to share the cost of his issue that followed him here. I think he should be responsible for paying for the whole thing. Thoughts? Opinions? Thank you. You gotta throw that stuff out or it will stay and ruin any new stuff you bring in. You're supposed to throw away anything that's been around bedbugs. The eggs get deep in the fabric of furniture. You guys need to get rid of everything he brought with. Sounds harsh, but it's just the truth. Also, try not to be condescending and make your boyfriend feel bad. I've had them before and it's embarrassing. You think people view you as nasty or something. Did you know about the bedbugs before you guys moved in together? If you were informed of the issue, and still moved in with him, you had the opportunity to make an informed decision. You both made the decision to move forward, and should both be responsible for the consequences. If he did not tell you about the issue before he moved in, it is his fault. He did not give you the opportunity to make an informed decision and he is responsible. Look, you think the question is, who should pay for it, but the real question is this the hill you are willing to die on? In my opinion, it would have been ideal for you to offer half and for him to say, no way, I brought them in. That would have showed you both cared more about one another than about money. But neither of you did that. So now, it's about money. Do you want to push and push and push for him to see your point of view so you can save money? Is this the most important thing to you in first moving in together and starting a home together as a couple? Is it to him? If it is, I worry you have many more problems on the horizon. It was stupid to bring anything into a new place that was infested with bedbugs. Any furniture should have been thrown out. Based on the info you've given, I'd say it's his problem and responsibility, but I also don't understand why you would choose to cohabitate without someone actively dealing with a bedbug situation. I would have waited a minimum of 3 months after their bedbugs were gone to proceed with moving in together. If you knew about it before, then you probably should pay part. If not, it's all on him. Is that the hill you're willing to kill your relationship on? Dunno, I consider it part of a relationship. When one fucks up, we come together to deal with it. Neither of us has the time, energy or inclination to keep track of one another's fault, and the slippery slope that is, who's 100% at fault or 70/30ths or 20/80ths. When one of us makes a mistake, we both face the music and move on with no animosity or resentment. My city as a whole had bedbug infestation and my roommate's apartment and mine were no different. Like I'd be on public transit and I'd catch one crawling around on my backpack. I threw out my old mattress, washed all my linens in hot water. Got a new mattress and a mattress cover that's anti-bedbug. Not sure how the cover works, but those steps seem to do the trick. I only saw one or two after that in off places like my desk, and they were all gray, moving like they were dying from dehydration. I'm a desert. I took great pleasure burning them with a lighter. That's the last time I've seen a bedbug.